Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Test 1 2. Check 1 2. Test 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 1 2. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. So you see our signal now we're doing there. So what we're doing here is we're pulling the audio. This is their normal output that they were sending to their video switcher. Since we're not doing video switching or anything, I just took and ran my line into their output. And this is the one that runs to their actual sound system here. So they still get the speakers and everything, but everything else is still the same.
That's why. That's right. That's so funny, dude. All right, I need you to help me get this down. I can leave it. I'm telling you, dude, if you want me to leave that, I will leave it. It's up to you. I love it. All right, you stay there. Okay. You are free to roam about the cabin. Do your thing. I'll manage from down here.
As usual. So I don't really need this one then, right?
All right. Scott, Scott.
Morning, sir. Josh. Nice to meet you, sir.
You guys can mentally, are you presenting together or?
I was thinking you would present and then I'll get up there with the Q&A.
Yeah, and then we'll do Q&A. My wife will be here too.
So if you notice the lighting profile, it's kind of structured like this.
Okay.
So if you mentally, when you're both up together, just imagine there being a boundary at the edge of this side of the sign.
Okay.
And at the edge of that side of the sign.
Okay.
As long as you're in that zone somewhere, it's fine. All right, Joe.
Cool.
It's just sometimes people kind of start to.
They start to drift.
And then they're like foreshadowing.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds great.
Not to mention the part.
So should I put on this side, right? Yes, sir. Okay.
As long as you're on mic, I can hear you.
I'm not.
No, he's got a headset, so if you're both up at the same time, then you would need to have.
Do you have an iPhone?
I do.
Check. And Brian, your slides are coming off of this one.
Did your dad wake you up too early on the summer? I know, man. I hear ya. I mean, it's like you only get 2 more weeks to sleep in. We'll have to talk to him about that, huh?
Talking about how kids are going back to school in July now.
Seriously.
It's the stupidest thing in the world. You go to school 10 months a year. It's not.
Right.
my mic. All right, perfect. I bet it's because it's going. I bet it because it's going to the distribution box. Right. Huh? Is there not a separate out on the? Okay, perfect. Great. Look at any of this. You know.
Check. Oh, I am live. Okay, good morning, everyone. So glad you guys are here. Grab a seat if you would. We're going to go ahead and get started. I feel like I should have a podium. No. Because then I'll start preaching. You don't want that. All right. I think mostly everybody's here. Well, welcome to 1 Million Cups Cherokee. My name is Jonathan Chambers, and I'm part of a team of people from a bunch of different cities in Cherokee County that help make this program possible. I'll tell you more about them in a minute. But also, welcome to the Oak House. Can we give a round of applause to the Oak House team? All right. So what a beautiful facility to have it here, and I also want to thank East Main Cafe for the coffee. I think Savannah's here too, so thank you guys so much for providing coffee this morning. They are down the street off of, what Main is that? Main, okay. It's only one of four, so thank you. East Main, and this is 151 Marietta Street. I'm going to be your Google commentator today, so. Well, let me tell you a little bit about the program and kind of how things work, and then I want to introduce our speaker today, who's Josh Neville, and then his business partner, Scott, with Airborne Canton. So I'm excited that you guys are here to kind of hear about their company and what their vision is for this indoor adventure park, because that's really why you're here. You're not here to hear me. By the way, I'm the temporary 1MC MC. I'll just say that. So we're looking for somebody to be our MC maybe in the future. So if you or someone you know wants to be on our 1 Million Cups team and you feel like you have what it takes to stand on stage and wow a crowd, we'd love to hear from you because I'm not always able to wow the crowd, but that's another story. Okay, so 1 Million Cups is a free program designed to educate, engage, and connect entrepreneurs with their communities. And so the point of this program is to get an entrepreneur, let them showcase their company, and they could be early stage, back of the napkin. They could be on up to 5 or 6 years, ready to launch a new product, ready to innovate something different about their company. But the point of the program is to set them in front of a community of people like yourselves who can offer them constructive, supportive feedback to help them solve a problem, get unstuck, figure out where they need to go next. Also, just a little bit about our culture and kind of what sets us apart. So 1 Million Cups is designed to be a safe and supportive culture, right? So we want the entrepreneurs to feel like they have an environment that is safe for them to present their challenges, their ideas, and their company, an environment that's going to be supportive. It's also designed to be inclusive and diverse. And so you'll see entrepreneurs from a host of different backgrounds, experiences, genders, expertise, everything across the board. It's also designed to be respectful and considerate. And so one thing we're very proud of in this chapter specifically is that it always brings together a group of people who seem to truly care about the entrepreneur, right? They're respectful of who they are and where they've come from. They're considerate of what they're struggling with and where they are. A little bit about what makes our chapter unique. So there's about 175 plus 1 Million Cups chapters across the United States, actually. And so every Wednesday morning, most of those chapters meet. So what's really cool is right now, during this very time, there are chapters across the country meeting, from Oklahoma to California to other chapters in Georgia to Florida to all over the country. And so you've got 175 or more entrepreneurs this morning along with ours that are pitching their communities and asking for feedback. So it's pretty cool to have that network of chapters. But what makes us unique is our focus is on the whole county. And so we have people on our team to represent that. We have a representative from almost every city. We have Misty Martin is on our team. She runs the Cherokee Office of Economic Development. Myself, Aaron Honey is here from Holly Springs. Brian Stockton from Woodstock. Tim Norton couldn't make it, but he's a VP at Reinhardt representing the city of Waleska. We have Brian Kane representing Oak House in the city of Canton. And then we have T.Y. Brown here from Ball Ground over here in the corner. He's a serial entrepreneur, got fantastic advice. I'm going to offer up 1 hour of his time afterward. No, I'm not going to do that, T.Y. But T.Y. has done some awesome things in Ball Ground as well. And so we really tried to bring together people from every city so that this would be truly a Cherokee event. Of course, our schedule. So we meet twice a month. First Wednesdays, 9 to 10 at the circuit, our HQ. And then the third Wednesday, we do this. We hit the road and grab another city, which really allows us to get in front of a different audience. Special thanks this morning to all of our partners that make this possible. I believe I've announced some of them this morning. East Main Cafe for the coffee, the Oak House, of course, for the venue. Also, voiceover media services, Gerald and his crew in the back. Without them, we wouldn't be able to live stream this online every time we meet, as well as provide video back to the entrepreneur on YouTube and on our website that you guys can go watch, or that they can look at and learn, like, what could I have done better? How do I pitch different? What was that question from that lady in the audience? So it's really an opportunity for them to capture that video. We couldn't do that without Gerald and his team. And then last but not least, we do have a 1 Million Cups app. So if you have some extra storage on your phone, unlike myself, and you can download another app, it's really cool because it allows you to connect with a community of people, not only in Cherokee County, but all over the country, wherever there's a 1 Million Cups chapter. And so people that you can meet, people that you've met and connected with, you can create a free profile, and then you can find out more about the program, schedule, who's pitching. So it's pretty handy. So without further ado, the real reason we're all here is to hear from Josh Neville and to hear him talk about Airborne Canton. And so for those who are new, real quick, the way we typically structure these, we give the entrepreneur about 6 to 8 minutes to present. It's designed to give them basically a forced time period so they can structure their elevator pitch and get across their point clearly and quickly. And then after that, we do about 20 to 30 minutes of Q&A. So without further ado, I want to introduce Josh Neville. Brian, we might need your help here with this part. You got it? All right, he's controlling it remotely.
Okay, good morning. First of all, before I get started into our business and what it is, I would just like to say that earlier this morning, we were asked if we wanted to remove this from behind where I'm talking. And Scott and I just said absolutely no. And the only reason that we have the ability to be up here and to talk in front of you is because of God's love. And it's just so amazing to me sometimes to just see how much He loves you and the opportunities that He gives you, because this has not been easy for our family. It's been really hard. It was going 100 miles an hour and then it crashed. It was going 100 miles an hour and then it crashed. And then it was going 100 miles an hour and it crashed again. And now we're finally here. So any of you who have either tried to start a business or started a bunch of businesses, you know that sometimes it's not easy. So with all that being said, what is Airborne Canton? So Airborne Canton is a 60,000 square foot facility right around the corner from here, where we're going to have over 10,000 square feet of trampolines. We're going to have a 9,000 square foot indoor skate park. We'll have a parent lounge. We're going to have outstanding food. We're going to have Cherokee Impact Soccer is going to move all of their indoor training to our facility. So that was a huge blessing. How do I move this? Are you going to
Swipe.
Okay. So a little backstory. Why is it called Airborne? Well, it just comes from my military experience, being a former infantry officer and being an airborne ranger. That's where the name comes from. Some folks have called their businesses all kinds of different things, but that has a special tie to me because that's from my military service. Okay. So a little bit more of the backstory. 40 years old. I've had a bunch of different careers. I have been in the waste business with my great friend and business partner Scott. I did that for about 9 years. I was a financial advisor. I worked in the energy efficiency consulting business, and I would say a good chunk of those days looked like that. Just simply feeling unfulfilled, and I just knew that I had to do something different. My mother really was the first person in our family to kind of start her own business as a real estate agent, but the rest of my family predominantly worked for the government, and that's great, and they did great things. But I just knew for my life, me personally, in my heart, I knew that I had to do something that was, I just had to take a chance. I had to risk it all in order to build something that we think, and hopefully you think, and our community will think will be absolutely amazing and different than anything you've ever seen before. So why a trampoline park? Well, the reality is we were living out in Colorado for 7 years. Moved back here for a job. I lasted 3 weeks. It's about all I could take. And I had the opportunity to have some time to go research some different businesses. So because I have young children who love those parks, and my daughter who's sitting over here loves to flip and loves gymnastics and does all those fun things, we wanted to do something that was really, really fun. So I started investigating it, and a company that's based just 2 hours from here up in Lake Hartwell called FunSpot builds all the products right here in the United States and has built 600 or 700 of these parks all across the world, from Finland, South Africa, just down the street in Athens, tons of them. So I thought, okay, well, you're 2 hours down the street. I'm going to drive up there. I'm going to find out what it's all about. So I just started doing a ton of research. So I kind of realized that if you're going to put forth all of this effort and all the tears and all the blood and all the sweat and all the things that go into building a business, it needs to be amazing, and it also needs to be very, very profitable. So I started researching it, and some people were very, very kind and actually opened up their financial statements to me. And once I started investigating, I go, okay, well, this seems like it's worth pursuing. Why don't I try a little bit more? And why don't I investigate a little bit more? So I just kept learning and kept studying and meeting with people and going to other people's parks. And it's really fun for Brooke and I, because I've told this before, you know, we're not starting an accounting business, which that's awesome and people need accountants. But my kids don't get excited about starting an accounting business. They're going, Dad, when can we jump? When can we jump? When can we jump? And it's really fun to do that as a family and to have their ideas and their input into what we're doing, because it's not just about my ideas. It's not just about Brooke's ideas or Scott's ideas. Our kids are like, Dad, what if you did this? And what if you did this? And for our family, and my son Lincoln's at the beach right now, so he can't be here, but to have him go, Dad, what if you did this? And what if you did that? So fun. So it was a fun business, because the reality is all of us have had careers before. You may be in a career right now, and likely you spend more time with that career than you do with your own family. So if you're going to do that and you're going to sign up for that career or you're going to build that business, you might as well smile and you might as well have a good time while you're doing it. Okay? Let's see. So why else? Kids always need a fun, safe place to play. And if you all are here in Cherokee County, you know there isn't a lot of opportunities for that. There are some places where you can take your children to go play, but we felt like with the absolute growth of the county, Canton itself is just exploding. We felt like being right at the intersection of Highway 20 and 575 right around the corner, it's a perfect spot and a perfect market for this type of business. So that's kind of the backstory of why we wanted to start a trampoline park. Also let's try one more. Well, I'll give you this slide here. So this is just a 3D rendering of what it looks like. 10,000 square feet of trampolines. When you all have the opportunity to come in there, because I've been to so many of these parks myself, when you kind of go in there, you're just like, wow, this is crazy. And I know it's my business and I'm biased, but the building is so huge and it's just like, wow, look at this. The kids can just run forever. So there's all kinds of different features in there. We won't get into that. Hopefully you'll come jump, or you'll bring your kiddos to come jump. And it went dead. There we go. So we have a room that's technically 15,000 square feet, but we're going to use about 9,000 square feet to build an indoor skate park. We built right now so far the first feature, which is a mega ramp. We're working with some people who built ramps for the Olympics, for X Games, for the Mountain Dew Tour. Really legit, awesome, structurally sound, cool ramp that we can have a lot of fun on. And at the end of that, there'll be an airbag, so you can come off that thing at 100 miles an hour, do whatever you want to, and land in an airbag and have a great time with it. The other thing we wanted to do, in surveying the competition, we realized that most of the parks have a snack bar. Well, we're all, except for my daughter, adults in here, and we don't want to eat M&Ms for dinner. I mean, they're good. The peanut ones are great. But we want something more wholesome, better tasting. So we made a strategic decision to partner with a professional who's in that industry. So in downtown Crabapple, there is a place called Purpose Snackery. And we decided to subcontract all of that for a variety of reasons. One, I don't want to cook it. I don't want to clean it. I don't want to order it. I don't want to do anything with it. I want a professional who's been doing that for years and years and years to do that for us and provide amazing service and really high quality food at a very inexpensive price. So you and your family could come in and get a meal for $4 with tax included. It's so good. It's really, really good food. Great coffees, amazing gelato, and we just think that that's a difference maker in our park because again, some parks will just only have vending machines. Well, that's great. I like a Snickers bar every once in a while. But we felt like this was a key difference maker in the business, is having really, really good food at an inexpensive price. We also wanted to have a place specifically for parents, okay? And why do we want to do that? Well, one of the reasons we want to do that is because the building is so large, we had the space to do it. So we said, why don't we just create this space that's just for adults, that's just for parents, where sometimes we want you to go out and go jump with your kids, go create some memories. But then sometimes, sometimes just go, can you just go jump? Right? Just go jump and go play and go have fun, and I'll be in here and I might take a nap or I might bust out some work real quick. But we wanted to create this space that's just for adults so that they could just kind of live the life, okay? All right, the other awesome thing, the person that runs Cherokee Impact Soccer approached me. He drove by our building, saw our coming soon sign, and said, Josh, we need a new place for indoor soccer. And I spent a good chunk of my life in Europe, so I love soccer. And when he said, we want to bring thousands of kids in here to do indoor soccer when it rains, I said, can you be here in 5 minutes? How fast can you get here? So we are putting in an indoor soccer training area, and there'll be a training area that's on the outside of the building too. So that was a huge, huge blessing. So this is morphing into things that aren't just a trampoline park, but it's really, really exciting. So what are some things that I've learned in this business? Number one, the wrong partners will kill your business. If you are trying to start your own business and you don't have all of the resources you need, you're likely trying to find those resources somewhere. Well, just because that person has a lot of money to pump into your business does not mean they're the right partner for you. You need to vet that person. You need to find out every single thing you can about that person, because when you work as hard as our family has worked and all of a sudden the money shows up, all of a sudden you go, wow, this is great, and it may not be. So that's a very, very key lesson that I learned. Number two, you're gonna have to hear 1,000 no's before you hear a yes. I pitched this idea to a lot of people. A lot of people. And as a former financial advisor, you hear a lot of no's. So if you're willing to get through all those no's to get to that yes, it'll be worth it on the other side. I promise you that. I would say put everything in writing and hold people accountable. We have worked with so many different contractors, different people. I'm gonna do ABC. No. I'm gonna do X, Y, Z. They don't do it. And the thing that I found most amazing about that process is I'm trying to hand them a check to do work, and they don't want to do it. So when you work with a contractor, or you have somebody that's building your business, or that's helping you, that's a consultant, whatever the case may be, put that in writing. Be willing to change the original plan. This thing has morphed into things I never thought it would. And I'm so excited that it's turned into what it is turning into, but it didn't look like what I thought it was gonna look like a year ago. And it's exciting, but be willing to change it. Don't be so ingrained in, this is what I have, this is the vision, I'm not changing. You gotta kind of step out and look at it and say, well, what's the best thing for the market? What's the best thing for the customer? And key takeaways. You may only get one chance. So make it amazing, make it awesome. Make it different than what the competition has. Make it something that when people come to your business or use your service, they go, wow, did you see that? You guys gotta go to that business. You gotta use that service. Make it different, make it amazing. Your business needs to be highly profitable, but it can't be the only reason that you're in business. The business needs to make a ton of money so that you can go do other things in the community. For example, the person that runs the soccer organization said, Josh, I have 30 kids that can't buy indoor shoes. Sweet, let's go buy some shoes for kids. Let's go buy some lunches for some kids. Let's go help some people that have been hurt. That's the purpose of the business. Yes, it needs to make a ton of money, but it can't just be about the P&L. Your business, this is kind of an iffy one, but this is my personal opinion. Your business doesn't necessarily have to be your passion. Meaning that my passion is bow hunting. I love to get in the woods and bow hunt. Am I gonna start a business around that? Nope, it's not gonna make any money. But my business is gonna fuel my passion. It's gonna give me the opportunities to go do those kinds of things that I love. A lot of people go to work every day, go sit in a job. It's not their passion, but they're saving up money and they're doing resources so that they can go on vacation, so they can go do the things they wanna do. So just realize that if your passion is cupcakes and you wanna make cupcakes, that's awesome. But is that necessarily the best business model that's gonna make a ton of money that allows you to help people in your community or allows you to do the things that you wanna go do? So some people think it has to be your passion. I don't necessarily think it has to be. So I'm probably sure I went over on time. Again, I just wanna say, for speaking for my wife and Scott, to be here standing in front of you talking about entrepreneurship when last summer I was driving a Bobcat at $10 an hour, unbelievable story. Okay, thank you very much.
Right, so Scott, if you want to join him. I'll that extra mic, Scott. Yeah. So Scott and Josh will both be on stage now, and this is the part of the, this is one of the best parts.
Sorry. So this is the Q&A time. We've got a good 30 minutes. This is an opportunity for you guys to ask questions about not only his business model, but their marketing strategy, or who's their customer, or how are they going to tackle this challenge. Anything you guys can think of that might support and get them to think outside the box. This is the time to do that. So we'll turn it over to the crowd. Thanks, guys.
Cool. No, not this guy. No, go ahead.
Joe. 2 questions.
Yes, sir.
First one, do you do birthday parties for children?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Key part of our business. Yes.
Excellent. Second question, are you open?
Not yet. Projected openings Labor Day weekend.
Labor Day weekend. Excellent.
Yes, sir.
Real quick, I apologize.
Go ahead.
To you. So one of the things I think that we think is a little bit different as it relates to parties is that some of the parks that you'll go to, regardless of business, they'll give you a table in like the huge park, and you don't have your own space. We're going to give you your own private room. So you have your own room, your own space, your own host that stays with you the whole time. You have your own entrance to get into the park. So parties are going to come through one entrance, and then we'll have a main entrance on the back for folks that just want to come jump. And fortunately, the building just allows us to do that because it's so big and it has 2 entrances. But yes, so sorry, just wanted to add that. Sorry, and then yes, sir.
Well, congrats on the business. I think you hit the nail on the head with Canton and Cherokee growing, and there isn't anything like this in the immediate area. But I did have a question. I've been to other trampoline parks. I've been with them. I was jumping with kids.
Sure.
But I've noticed there is novelty to trampoline parks, and then where kids and all whatnot would be really excited to go to them, and we'll go. Parents will take me to trampoline parks for 3, 4, 5 times, and after that, the novelty kind of wears off, and they come back only for birthday parties. What's kind of like your long-term residual to get people back in the door? Is it like an annual pass or something like that to kind of continue your market?
Yeah, sure. So I think there's a couple things to that. The first thing would be there always has to be something new, right? And that doesn't mean we do that every month or even every 3 months. But let's say we did some small new feature every 6 months, and we're blasting that out on social media. We're blasting it out to our email list, like, hey, this ninja feature is coming, or hey, we just got a salmon ladder, or hey, we just got a European trampoline, which is like this crazy trampoline where it'll bounce you up 8 feet in the air. So people like new stuff. So even if it's something small, even if we spend 10, 15, 20 grand on something every 6 months, if this park does even a little bit better than our worst case scenario, we can afford things like that. So I would say it's that and it's marketing, and it's reaching new customers. I mean, we want people coming from, Jasper and Blue Ridge and not just Canton, right? So that would be my answer. Josh, you want to comment on that?
No, I think that's right. Kind of how the one point that I had around being willing to change, there are all kinds of things that are coming out all the time. When we were kids, there wasn't such a thing as a trampoline park. Well, now there is, and each day there's kind of a new feature that's getting built. So one of the features that we wanted to put in, but were asked not to put in because there were quite a few injuries, was, if you know the show Wipeout, there's that arm that spins around. So we actually had that on the drawing where it's a mechanical arm and there's trampolines that go around in a circle. And as that thing comes around, you jump out, well, people were just getting crushed by it. But so we decided, well, let's skip that one. But to answer your question, I mean, it's the same thing that Scott said. It's just, what's that new feature that we can do? Is it going to be a new rock wall? Is it going to be a new feature in the skate park? Is it going to be, we don't even know what it's going to be yet. So I think it's not just saying we built it and we're leaving. It's built it, and everybody has read business books on continual improvement. We're going to be no different. How do we make it better? How do we make it more fun? How do we have a new feature in there? Because you want to try something new. Everyone does. And sometimes when you go to other places, you're just like, even if it's a restaurant, you're like, When's the last time you guys put new seat covers on these things? Right? They're like from 1985. You know, do some updating, make it fun. So.
Yeah, and on that, one thing I like about the kind of the marriage of the trampoline and skate park model is that you have kids growing up, maybe one comes in at 6 years old, he likes the trampolines till he's 10 or 11, and he's seen this giant 18-foot ramp for 5 years off and on, and he's like, oh, maybe I'm not into trampolines. Hey man, why don't you rent a skateboard from us and try this ramp? So now you have this continuity of customer base. Whereas if it were just a trampoline park, I think there's probably more of an age limit to that. I mean, I'm 36 years old and I love trampolines, but not everybody's like that, right? So, you know, providing that new challenge, whether it's a ninja course eventually or it's a skate park thing, or there's a broader customer base and a longer customer life, I would say, in my opinion, you know?
I'm sorry, sir. I apologize. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, as a parent, I have a lot of questions.
You only get one.
I have two major questions.
Yes,
one
ma'am.
is liability, safety issues, and you mentioned skateboarding. I mean, do you provide helmets for skateboarders? What is the issue with, I mean, I just see all kinds of potential there for, you know, things that could happen. So my question is, you know, how do you handle the safety issues and liability there? And then the other question I have is, seeing the lounge mentioned, how do you protect from a parent being in the lounge and somebody walking out the door with your kid?
Okay, so couple points there. So I will just say this, as it relates to general liability. Everybody's been to, and hopefully never gone into, a hotel swimming pool. But it does say, swim at your own risk. So the things that you're going to do at our park, just like, I mean, the amount of trampoline parks getting built across the world, honestly, is unbelievable. It's just exploding. So, and people want that fun, active lifestyle, right? And we very, very intentionally did not put a single video game in there. There's no screens, there's no arcades. When you come to our park, like obviously, Scott and I, well, Scott more so, into fitness. We want people to be active. We want people to be running. We want people to be jumping. We want people to get off their phones and get in there. In order to do that, you have to take some element of risk. In all parks, lots of different businesses ask you to sign a waiver. That's a big part of it. You do have to sign it. We're no different than any other park. We also have a safety video that's a part of that waiver so that you can see, hey, am I willing to take this risk? Okay? It's not like when my wife was growing up on trampolines and got bounced off 3 times because there was no nets and she broke her arm 3 times. You know, now everything that we build in the park is to what's called an ASTM standard. So that's the highest safety standard possible in this industry. Everything that we've done, we're trying to make it as safe as possible, realizing that there is inherent risk in being active. There's inherent risk in 60,000 car accidents a year, or 60,000 people die in a car accident every year. Nobody's not going to get in their car when they leave here. So there's some inherent risk, but we want to provide that in the safest way possible. Part of that is a good chunk of our staff is going to be CPR trained. We are going to have professional training from the trampoline company in how do we deal with certain incidents. There are going to be injuries. People slip and fall in Walmart. Everybody's going to go to Walmart. So there is some inherent risk in that, and people I think are willing to take that in order to have fun and go, that place was so sick, I want to go back. Now, to your comment about, or your question about how do you stop people from taking somebody else's child, that is a difficult one, right? That is a difficult one. In church, it's here's the tag. You don't match the tag, you don't get the child. So I volunteer sometimes at Revolution Church on the security staff, and so you don't have the tag, you're not getting passed. I don't know that we're going to implement it to that extreme. I would say this. It's ultimately the parent's responsibility to watch their child. We built the parent lounge so that it's full of windows so that you can look out and find your child. But ultimately, we want you to come in, and I know the picture I just pulled off of Google Images was a guy passed out on the couch. Hopefully, I mean, if you want to come in there and take a nap, hey, that's great, relax. But ultimately, it's your responsibility to watch your child I mean, somebody could easily, one of the scariest things in the world is when you go, when my kids were younger, we go into a department store and they think it's funny and they hide in the rack of clothes. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, where's my child? Right? You just start freaking out because it's the scariest thing. So I don't want to like throw that back on the parent to say it's your responsibility to watch your child, but any other place in America, you would make sure that you watch your child. The other thing that, unless you're in the bathroom, you are on camera. As soon as you come onto the property outside, you're on camera. Everything you do in there, it's on camera. So it would just kill me. But in the rare case that actually happened, in our park, that person is on camera. We have license plate cameras. We know what car you're driving. We know what the license plate is, and we will find you. So I'll answer it like that. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I wanted to piggyback on his comment about memberships. Over the past 10 years, I've been working with these Croc centers, which are like YMCA's times 10. So they're large facilities. They offer things from ice skating to Olympic pools to gyms to theaters, et cetera, et cetera. The way they survive, they offer all sorts of great opportunities, camps, things of that nature, but their lifeblood are memberships. You have to have people who are willing to pay for a membership, and some of those won't show, but you have that continuing revenue stream. That's what really allows them to continue to stay open and function.
Sure.
Yeah, that's something we're going to experiment with. I hear what you're saying, and I think there is something to that. The profitability of that is at a trampoline park is still being explored. It's because it's not a gym. It's an amusement facility. You know, so the other side of memberships is, what if someone pays $400 a year and they come 700 times? We just lost a bunch of money. So, and the other difference between a gym and a trampoline park is we have a limit to an occupancy load, right? That's higher than a gym is, frankly. So we have to think about that. It's something we've talked about. We talked about it yesterday,
Yeah.
I think. So, valid point.
Yeah.
Something we have to look at. I don't know if it's the right move or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll get you next. So I'll get 1 second, sir. I apologize. The other part of this, and this may be completely bad business, is there are so many people that pay memberships for all kinds of different things and never use it. Now the business owner reaps the rewards of that, but in a sense, I'm taking something from you and you're not getting anything out of it. And that, again, that sounds like bad business, but I almost feel like I'm stealing. So I want you to come in, pay, have an awesome time, give us a great recommendation, and come back again. So we are exploring it. We've looked at a lot of financial statements from other parks. A lot of parks have not done anything like that because the demand has been so high, and the number of parties that you sell, camps, all kinds of different things that can be done. So we're exploring it. I really appreciate that, sir.
Sure.
Yes, sir, and then you?
Talking about cost, what does it actually cost to come for a day or an hour? How do you break down the cost?
Sure. So we're going to release that, but I'll give you a range. Okay. First thing that we're doing is everything that you buy at our park is tax included, no change. Everybody has a huge jar of change at home, and they're like, what am I going to do with this? My Christmas presents? Yeah. So everything will be whole dollars. The Atlanta market for these types of parks is around, like the average is around $14 an hour pre-tax for 1 hour. So ours will start at $15 an hour with tax, and then the longer you stay, the price will come down accordingly. Similar to parties, if you want to have 10 kids and jump for an hour, that's going to be $250-ish, $275 on a weekday. That's less, believe me, that's way less than what the competition has. And then that price will go up on the weekends when there's more demand, just like any other type of business. So we don't want to be the cheapest park in the Atlanta metro area. We don't want to be the most expensive park. We want to be the best. And then you, sir. Yes, sir.
Also, just wanted to congratulate you guys. What you guys have going so far is awesome. It's been fun to follow you guys on Facebook thus far.
Thank you.
I love the T-shirts, by the way.
Thank you. This is actually Gen 1, so we're having some new ones. So these would be like the baseball cards that are messed up. They're worth a lot more, so we'll sell them to you later.
Like that. Two selfish questions. Number one, we are preparing to foster 2 young boys that are hopefully going to be adopted in the next few months. Would you guys see any kind of opportunity to partner with Cherokee DFACS or CASA or other nonprofit organizations in the area to give kids that might not get the opportunity to participate in something like this, the opportunity to participate? And number 2, are there any age minimums for kids to be able to come into your facility and actually be able to use the facility?
I would love to do that. I'd love to give an opportunity to DFACS. I mean, I'll let you take the minimum question, but thank you for asking that question, first of all, and congratulations that you're about to foster 2 kids. That's amazing. You know, I know it sounds kind of cheesy, but one thing we really want to do is give back to the community, whatever that looks like. We have some different ideas, but we're passionate about that, and we care about our employees, and we really do care about people. And like, one of my dreams that I haven't even shared with Josh and Brooke is, you know, I sponsor 3 kids, right? I have 3 kids that I sponsor, and one's in Philippines, one's in Mexico, one's in Ghana. Man, if we could make enough money to fly some kids over here that we sponsor, like, what an amazing story that would be. I don't even know if that's legal. I don't know if that's a reality, right? Yeah, you know, but just like, I don't know, we're always coming up with ideas on you know, how can we do something amazing? And yeah, do we want to make a bunch of money? Of course. I love fast cars. Sure, I want to make a bunch of money. But I mean, we want to help people out too. So absolutely. Age minimum?
Yeah, I just want to do one point on that too, and then I'll get into that. Is it by chance that our building is across the street from Goshen Valley's Boys Ranch on the same street as DFAC and Must Ministries? Is that by chance? Probably not. Okay, so I can't wait to go buy a whole bunch of lunches for kids who are hungry. There shouldn't be one child in this county that goes to sleep tonight without eating something. That's one reason that we got this trampoline park, and I started looking at the financial statements, because in general, they make very good money. So we can use those resources, maybe to buy fast cars, but let's go buy some shoes for some kids. That's the cool story. I'd love to have a counter in there that says, we bought this many pairs of shoes in Cherokee County. We bought this many lunches. To me, that's the coolest thing. So how the operations of that work, and which organizations we partner with, and which ones that we say, hey, this is kind of where our focus is, I'm not necessarily sure yet, but the answer is 100% yes. As it relates to age minimum, a lot of parks offer, and if you're a parent, and you know, when you sign up, you put your email address, and you get emails that say, hey, we have a toddler time at 1 time a week from 10 to 12. Well, we said, let's be different than that. Right now, we're going to be closed on Mondays, but Tuesday through Friday, we're open at 10 a.m. Bring your little monsters in. Remember, the bigger kids are usually at school, so bring the little ones in, have the whole park to yourself, get something really good, wholesome to eat while you're there, have a fun experience. So we don't want to so quite honestly, I mean, you probably need to walk, right? I mean, if you can't walk, you probably can't bounce on a trampoline. So I would say, hey, if you get a 2-year-old out there that wants to go jump on a trampoline, let them go do that. It was this gentleman, and then we'll get you again.
Hey, Josh, real quick, you got about 3 minutes left for questions.
Yes, sir.
3 minutes.
This is really, your marketing is very young. Your marketing is very tied into social media. How do you plan on going about attracting or reaching the market through social media outlets?
I mean, you love Facebook, so do you want to talk about that?
No, I don't.
Yeah, no, valid point, very true. So, gotta give huge credit to Brooke over there. She handles our social media outreach. We do have a consultant we work with who's incredible. Brooke's incredible. So, I mean, we have a content calendar lined up. We have a website that we're working on that's going to have all types of SEO done to it. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube. But so there's like a big answer to that question. the specifics of it. I mean, Brooke, do you want to talk about that specifically? I can come hand you the mic.
Sure.
Okay.
You don't want me on camera?
I think that that we are just collaborating with a lot of people that know what they're doing behind the scenes. So like Scott said, Sam is, who we're talking to now, a friend of ours who knows how to do the background techie stuff that we're kind of learning as we go. So getting the experts to surround us and create that marketing plan is kind of where we are. But I appreciate the question because it is we know how important it is. So we look forward to kind of, making every effort that we can. It's a lot of work, and we're excited to get out there, get our face out there. So I appreciate the question.
All right, we have 1 minute left.
1 minute.
I think you wanted one more, sir?
Yeah, so I surmise it's going to happen immediately, but have y'all discussed the possibility of doing like tumbling classes or skateboarding?
Yes.
Tutoring, or
Yes. Yep, we have, and we already on staff, we have some people that are incredible at that and have teaching level, are able to teach. Yeah.
So some of the folks that we've hired, I can't say this, they have done some things that would just absolutely wow us. And as a skate park, we have a person that we're looking at right now who has this whole dream and vision of creating a skate park, and it just so happens that he wants to work with us, build camps, do professional instruction. One thing that we've kind of thought about is skateboarding is actually going to be in the Olympics in 2020. Could we turn this into I can't call it an Olympic training center, but could I call it a professional training center for folks who are trying to get to that level? So again, it's just morphing into all these different things, but skate camps, tumbling classes. And one last point about that, and I know we got to wrap up, is that the three of us don't have all the best ideas. So if you have an idea, this is what I tell the folks that work with us, if you have an idea, we'd love to hear it. We would love to hear it. We're not so vain to think that we got it all figured out. So if someone in the community says, hey Josh, hey Scott, hey Brooke, what do you guys think about doing this? Lay it on me, because it might explode, and it might be the best decision for the community and for our customers. So I appreciate that. So I guess with all that being said, just maybe speaking for Scott and Brooke, again, we're so humbled and so thankful that we were chosen. Jonathan, thank you, sir. I really appreciate it. And I guess we're done.
Thanks, everybody.
Y'all stay there. This is a token to say thank you guys for pitching. Give you guys some goodies. Thank you for your time.
So real quick, we try to close out each of our chapter meetings with a couple things, and the first thing is a question. And it kind of turns it back to you guys. What can we as a community do for y'all?
Well, I would say this as it relates to that. Our team has a really solid consultant as it relates to social media and outreach, but I'd love to hear some ideas. All the kids that we've hired, we don't text, we Snapchat. I go, Brooke was calling it Snapfish. We didn't even know what it was, right? So it's like, okay, what do we do? Some of it we don't even know how to do. And even with that, like some of the branding and awareness has already like taken off, and people have sent us unbelievable messages. But that's something that maybe we might need a little help with.
Talk to your daughter.
Yeah, she's not allowed.
She'll tell you how to market situation.
That's true, but not through social media.
Awesome. Thank you for that. So these guys will hang around for a couple minutes if they're able to right after. If you guys want to go personal, ask them a question, or try to get connected, you can do that. So real quick, we want to do a little free giveaway with some branded items that we have, both from Million Cups, Oak House, and the City of Canton. So Ella right here has the bin. Did everybody put their business card in? If not, if you'll do that when she comes around real quick.
I forgot to say hi, Mom. Love you. Gotta do that.
All right. Next time we'll do phone in a question so your mom can ask some questions, okay? All right. All right, I think we're good. All right. I think we're good. Ella, do you want to be my drawer? All right. All right, first gift will be for, actually, I'll just let you guys choose whoever wins. the way to avoid getting beat up here. All right, Joe Hammond Swain, Red Barn. Come on, Joe. Got a travel mug, Oak House mug, City of Canton. All right. John Ickes, Dev Next, located right here in Canton. What do we got, John? Canton, Oak House, 1 Million Cups travel mug. All right, sir. Thanks, John. Thank you. Alex Bryant with Starcraft. All right. Wilderness training in Waleska. What do we got? All right. Thanks, man. All right. Dan Threlkill, you've won too many times. I'm sorry. Front Porch Advisors, Dan, what's it going to be, man? Ken? All right. And then last but not least, we've got Atlanta SEO Pro, Ashley. All right. Nice little travel mug. You're welcome. Thanks, Ashley. First time here, right? Yes. Awesome. Okay, last thing. Next time we meet again, August 1st at the circuit. I'm really excited about that. I don't have it pulled up, but there's a company called Rounding Third. It's our first ever baseball startup. All right, now get this. This is a guy who played minor league baseball, played in college. The process became really tough for him, so he decided, you know what, I want to help high school students figure out this complicated recruiting process from baseball to college and then on to minor league. So he started a company and decided I want to be like their liaison. So he's pitching August 1st at the circuit. If you love baseball, if you know somebody in baseball, it'd be great to bring them there to hear his presentation August 1st. So without further ado, I want to close it out with Brian. He's got a special announcement about the Oak House.
Thank you so much to everybody that came out today. Thank you, Jonathan, the Fresh Start Cherokee program, the Cherokee Office of Economic Development. Thank you so much for choosing our venue to do this. And so I wanted to take just a real quick 2 minutes. It's totally not going to be 2 minutes. I can't do this in 2 minutes. But I just want to take a minute to tell you about the space that you're in. So in downtown Canton, there did not exist a place for professionals to be able to come and have a professional meeting, hold a professional conference. That space did not exist in downtown Canton. So what happened is the Oak House was kind of born out of meeting that need. And what that looks like is we renovated 4,400 square feet of the 7,500 square foot building that you're currently in to be able to use for that exact purpose. So we have a 750 square foot cafe out front. We have 3 different size meeting rooms designed to hold 5, 6, and 8 people, and each room has a television, HDMI access, Ethernet cable access. It's truly meant to house a professional event, which is exactly what we proved here this morning. There's 40 people in attendance. It's one of the largest attended 1 Million Cups gatherings that there's been. And it's been an honor to host every single person here. If you guys would like a tour of the facility, you're welcome to hang out afterwards. But I want to tell you the flip side to everything that I just told you. What you are in right now is actually a ministry of Oak Leaf Church. Oak Leaf Church fully funded the build out for this. They purchased the building so that we could do this kind of stuff. It's been an absolute phenomenal thing to watch a church give back to the professional community. So it's really easy for you guys to go to church and hear how you're supposed to be good stewards of your stuff on Sunday morning in a building that sits empty for 167 hours every week. Oak Leaf Church did not want to do that. So this is what's happened. If you would like a tour, I invite you, I welcome you. Please, please, please stay and meet me up in the cafe, and I will take everybody on a tour and show you the rest of the facility. Guys, thank you so much for coming. Jonathan?
All right, that's it. We are done. I hope you guys enjoyed the program. Stick around, please. Network, make some connections, grab some more coffee from East Main Cafe, and we hope to see you guys again August 1st at the circuit. All right, thanks.